Alright, mark this shit on your calendars because I'm going to do something today that I never, ever, ever, ever do. And that's highly recommend a really, really inexpensive knife. Or actually, two. Hey guys, Jim here. Welcome in once again. Today we're going to take a look at something quite a bit out of the ordinary. For those of you that follow my channel for any length of time, you know that the majority of the videos that I do are basically about very high-end, handmade custom knives or very, very high-end mid-tech knives, and very rarely over the past 6 or 7 years have I even touched on a production level knife. And when I do, it's generally something fairly special, like maybe a special new Microtech that came out or something like that. But certainly nothing that I would be doing verbal somersaults over that's under $300. And that's what you're about to see with both of these. Now, just a very quick introduction. These are both made by a company called Tuya Knives, T-U-Y-A. And these two particular models seem to be their best-selling models. They were the most appealing to me, which is why I got them. But they seem to be sold out in a variety of places, or you'll find one and not find the other, or find one in one finish and not in the finish that you want. So I always tell people when they ask me, when they see me post about these on Instagram, just contact Dave Warren. He owns TuyaKnife.us, which is the website. He's the official distributor for North America for Tuya Knives. So he gets them direct. He can order things. He's really the best connection. And if I'm not mistaken, he also has the best prices, but I can't guarantee that. So I got both of these from Dave Warren. At the time, he was actually sold out of this one, but he was still able to score one for me. So thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. Very quickly, these are both in my personal collection. They were not, they're not sitting out here on loan or anything like that. These are both mine. I tend to carry this one quite often. Those of you that follow my Instagram already know that, though. So basically, the reason I'm doing this video, number one, is utter friggin' boredom from lockdown. And the other is I really, really, really enjoy carrying these knives, and I field so many questions when I post about them that I figured honestly it was a good time to sit down and make a video about them. So without any further ado, the first one that you're looking at here is called the Kingsman. This is their slim EDC style frame lock. And this one is called the Hive 2. This is kind of a big, bold, badass Tanto. And that was the first thing that attracted me to it. I loved the belly on this blade for being an Americanized Tanto. And then, of course, the work that's been done in the titanium frame, which I'll explain a little bit more in a couple minutes. So we're going to start here with the Hive. The Hive you're looking at, and I'm going to give you the prices, even though they could fluctuate at some point. That's why I don't really like getting nailed down to prices. But really on production knives, they don't tend to vary all that often until they've been discontinued and they go on clearance or they shoot up in value for some reason. So the Hive 2 is $258. As a matter of fact, both of these are $258 individually. The Hive 2 has a 3.6-inch M390 steel blade with a hand-rubbed satin finish, which, as you can see, was done absolutely beautifully. Unexpectedly well for a full-on production knife made in a factory. The overall length when open is 8 1/4 inches, and it only weighs 5.2 ounces. So it's got some heft to it. You know, it doesn't feel chintzy in the hand, but it's not overbearing and it's not heavy in the slightest. Uses multi-row ceramic bearings, uses a ceramic detent. The handles, as I mentioned, are titanium, and they've done really, really nice cutouts here. So you see these cutouts that are done, and then they cut out all the way to create these windows. And I don't know if you can really see it on camera here or not, but there is carbon fiber inlaid on the underside of the presentation scale that the ones that are punched all the way through will then allow you to see the carbon fiber. So that's not a sticker or anything. It's been glued in there or anything like that. It's a proper inlay, but done on the reverse side of the scale or of the slab. And then certain key areas are cut out entirely so that you can see the carbon fiber underneath. On the back side, you don't get to peek all the way through, but there are more of the hexagonal cutouts. And the action, honestly, is pretty fucking fantastic. It was something that I was really, really worried about for the price point. That, okay, they can design something that looks cool. They're using a good steel, M390, which we're seeing a lot in higher-end production knives lately. They've got a really, really nice milled 3D pocket clip, which is also titanium. Nice, unique style pivot. So got a unique shape to it there. It's basically a pivot collar set around the round pivot on that side. And the backside pivot is a hexagonal shape to match the theme. Really nice looking back spacer. Everything looked good and had a good steel. And then I'm like, it's got to have just a mediocre action. It can't be all of these great things for such a low price. Because again, you got to realize, I'm not saying that $258 is a cheap knife. There are people right now that are stumbling across this video that have never watched videos on my channel that don't realize there are knives justifiably that I've reviewed that are $3, $4, $5, $7, $10, $15, $20,000 $1,000. So no, $258 is not a lot of money in comparison to higher end knives that I typically collect, that I typically show on my channel. It is, however, fairly expensive for somebody that's just a very generic user. You know, they pick up a knife whenever they break their old knife. They go over to, you know, a sporting goods store, a Walmart or something, and spend $25, $30, $40 on a knife that'll last them a little while before it goes dull or gets broken again. So you have to keep things in perspective. My perspective is, oh man, I can't think of a knife that I've owned in the past 5 years that I've spent less than maybe $400 or $500 on. I mean, I could be mistaken, you know, maybe an out the front Microtech that was, you know, $350 or something, but I just generally not what I buy. It's not what I'm interested in. These to me are phenomenal values. And if you're the type that collects high-end mid-techs or custom-made knives and you're used to spending, you know, $400, $800, $1,200, $1,500 and more on each individual knife, I really want you to take a look at these. I want you to get one in your hands. Don't just take my word for it. Hopefully I'm able to give you some guidance that you trust after all these years, but don't just take my word for it. Get one of these little bastards in your hand and you're going to go, wow, yeah, it really is everything that I would look for. There are no engineering or manufacturing flaws. The blade is perfectly centered, as you see there. The lockup is fantastic and strong. You've got a steel insert on the titanium lock bar, so you have steel on steel contact. You have really, really good jimping on that flipper tab, which is also not too large. So there is almost no way for you not to be able to flip this fast and easily. You've got high quality steel. See if we can focus in on there. Oh, it doesn't say M390 on there, does it? Oh, that's quite the shocker. Because I know I shouldn't say I know, but I think the Kingsman is marked M390. Am I missing it? Oh, it's right there on the flipper tab. You've got great components. All of the materials have been properly finished. There are no hot spots or sharp edges anywhere except for, obviously, the edge of the blade. Everything is just done well. It's well balanced. It's got a great action. It's slim yet robust. It's lightweight, but it doesn't feel cheap. The finger choil, working up to the flipper tab to double as a finger guard, fits and feels perfect. No hot spots from where the pocket clip is placed. Everything about this is what you would want out of a more expensive knife. And it's got a nice custom look to it. It's got a nice design. And again, I can't get over that blade. That nice, nice belly on what would normally be a very straight edge for an Americanized Tanto, that kind of snub-nosed Tanto. They just did a friggin' fantastic job. Now we take a look at the Kingsman. Same kind of thing. Nice, quick, smooth action. Here we have, if you want to call it an upgrade, that's fine. We have the upgrade into marbled carbon fiber. You've got a faux bolster look where they've machined that separation between where the scale is and where the bolster area is. And they've done some decoration there to give you that faux bolster look. Done on both sides. This is a really, really fantastic job. When you really get down to it, I'm going to call this a bolster lock. And the reason for that is a bolster lock would be basically a frame lock with a scale over the lock side. Typically, that will be mated up to a solid bolster that runs around both sides. Now, again, that's a faux bolster, so that is one piece of titanium where they've cut out a pocket and then inlaid the marble carbon fiber. But it acts like a bolster lock because you'll see that the scale there is used to prevent you from overextending the titanium lock bar. So it looks more like a bolster lock than an actual frame lock. This is a frame lock. That side is your lock. This side is not your lock. This side is another presentation side that has the lock incorporated within it. See what I'm saying? So you can call it whatever you want to. I don't think that you'd be wrong calling it a frame lock or calling it a bolster lock, except for the fact that it does not have a true actual bolster. Again, very nice jimping on the flipper tab. Now this knife is much slimmer, so the action is going to feel faster. The knife is actually going to feel lighter weight, even though it's, yeah, actually it is. It's considerably lighter weight. So you have a 3.54 inch blade, so only slightly shorter. 8.27 inches overall on the Kingsman. Here's the weight difference. The Hive 2 was 5.2 ounces. This is 3.5 ounces, actually 3.6 ounces. So it is considerably lighter. I thought maybe I was going crazy, but no, it is considerably lighter in weight. And it looks a little bit more dressy. You know, here's something that looks a little bit more radical, a little bit more, I don't know, bold or in your face. And this is slightly more elegant. Now imagine if that marble carbon fiber were black mother of pearl or white mother of pearl or Timascus or something like that, then this would be you would definitely consider that to be a dress knife. But being carbon fiber, I'll just say it's a dressy style, but not particularly dressy on its own. So there's a good look at the marble carbon fiber, if my camera will focus. They did a great job on the inlay. You can't feel the inlay, the height difference between that and the titanium. There are no gaps that I can see with my eyes. I'll see what it looks like on video here, because obviously this is much, much closer than I would be holding the knife up under my face, but I don't see any gaps. Wonderfully done. I like the fact that they blacked out the hardware. Number one, it helps it disappear into the carbon fiber, but it gives you a two-tone look that balances between the blasted titanium and the carbon fiber. Kind of carries the theme over. Nicely done. Pockets that are milled into the hand-rubbed satin M390 steel blade. Love the tip grind on there, which for those that have never done that, it is not easy to achieve and to do well and to do perfectly symmetrical. Not a lot of fun to do that. Just overall, man, for $258, I can't find any flaws with these. Forget the price for a second. I can't find any flaws in these regardless of price. And that was shocking to me. When I got these, I looked at them and went, you know, I can't take my eyes off of this. I think it's really, really cool. I like the fact that it's affordable. And let's just go for it. I did not expect to be overwhelmingly blown away. I figured this is going to be a good knife for the money. I know that Tuya Knife has had a good reputation. They're a newer brand, but they've built a pretty solid reputation. So I wasn't really worried about getting a hunk of shit. But I wasn't really expecting the world. And I gotta tell you, I could put this up against any $450, $500 production or mid-tech knife that you can name off. I could favorably put this up against them. And that really says a lot. And knowing that you're getting it for $258, man, that's pretty damn cool. Now, one thing I did notice, inside of the back spacer on the Kingsman, it's numbered. Now, I'm not certain if these were a limited edition. If they were, they're not marked anywhere in the packaging or on any websites that say limited edition. But that could be a nice little plus if you're into collecting limited editions. I really like the lanyard loop, how it's been integrated into the back spacer and cut away at the rear of the frame. They did a really, really great job on that. There is no lanyard loop here on the Hive. So basically, all I got to say is this. If you're looking for something different, you're tired of seeing the same old everywhere, they're certainly very different. They look gorgeous. They're well made. You're getting premium materials, and you're getting what I feel is a very, very, very fair price, even maybe a bit underpriced. Now, I'm not sure how much they were when they first hit the market. This could even be a newer development that I'm unaware of. I've had these for months. I thought I saw somewhere that the Kingsman was over $400. But I'm not going to rely on my memory. My memory is getting, kind of shitty in my old age. So I'm not going to say that that's a definite. It's just what I think that I saw. But now I just looked them up before sitting down here, and they were each individually $258 on two different websites. Only saw them available for sale, however, at Dave Warren's place. So take that with a grain of salt. All I'm going to say is that's the price that they are right now, and I feel they're significantly nicer than that price would typically indicate. Alright guys, I'm going to get out of here for now. I was just excited about showing these to you. I know I didn't go really super in depth like I normally do. It's just that, you know what, in this day and age, we've all kind of been there, done that, seen it all. There's not a lot to really talk about. They didn't revolutionize anything here. They just made two really damn good knives that carry exceptionally well in the pocket, unobtrusive. The pocket clips work as they're supposed to. I mean, they're made how they're supposed to be. The blades are centered, the lockup is good, the action is great, the fit and finish is done right. These are things that we expect when we pay money. However, we've all been there and bought things that did not live up to even the basic things that they were supposed to live up to. So they're all that and more. So there you go. Anyway, I'm out of here. I'm going to try to squirt out another video here sometime soon, trying to balance this whole new world order that's going on, man. My little guy, he's 7 years old, so he hasn't been in school for 10 weeks now. I'm doing the e-learning and education with him, which takes up the majority of my days because I swear they're giving them more work to do on the computer than they actually were doing in school, but that's a whole other subject. So I don't get to work as often as I'd like to. I don't get to do this as often as I would like to. I don't get to do a lot of things as often as I would like to, but I'm totally fine with it. Not a complaint on my end. At some point, all this will go back to normal, I guess, I hope, at some point. And then I can hopefully be a bit more productive. But until then, hope you guys are staying home, or you're staying safe. If you do have to go out, be safe. And thank you for all that you do. If you're one of those essential workers that have to go out there and, you know, perform those daily tasks and keep the rest of us safe, or keep us fed, or keep gas in our cars, or whatever it is that you do, I salute you and thank you. And I'll see you on the next video.